Hey guys, welcome back to another review. I have returned to do another review, this time on another DreamWorks movie. Yes, I'm now gonna be doing another DreamWorks movie. And I gotta say, before I start the video, it's amazing how far I've gotten with this whole DreamWorks thing and all that. Like, I'm actually about halfway there. Now, compared to Sony Pictures, which by the way is almost done, I do have a long ways to go with DreamWorks. So I'm still got quite a bit of ways here, because although it says 47 here, like, you know, the whole Sony Pictures animation thing does with the 30, there are actually still some movies to review afterwards. This kind of just goes, I just go by this tally here at the bottom to kind of, you know, because I haven't really been talking about it much, but yes, the whole tally thing is to kind of show how many, it gives my cards more detail and all that, and it keeps track of, you know, how many reviews I've done. So, yes, but we're getting close with Sony, and then we still have DreamWorks to go to. But if you guys haven't already, remember to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 1K subs. I'm actually, you know, still far away, but, you know, I appreciate people who are watching the videos and all that. Even people who are not subscribed, I still appreciate it. Also, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. There you guys can keep up with some stuff with me and all that. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's review another DreamWorks movie. So, what's in for it today? Let's see here. What do we have to review today? It seems we're going to be reviewing a story about a villain who becomes a superhero. So we have another one of those. I remember like talking about that back with my Illumination reviews and all that. My very first set of movies I reviewed. Honestly, they don't have a lot of, like, views and all that, but the videos are a little bit outdated. Technically, I was screen recording the TV and all that there. That's before I've kind of learned how to improve my videos. I still think they turned out okay, but I will say the movie itself was not, it was not bad, but I didn't think it was as great as other people said. But that was just my opinion, of course. But let's see how this movie does here. We have Megamind. Is Megamind a good, a bad, or a meh movie? Well, I have to say, this movie is magnificent. This movie is marvelous. This movie is mind-blowing. So many M's to describe this movie, and all of them are praises. Yes, that's right. This movie is definitely a good and a 120-point score. What can I say? This movie is really good. Like, it is really, really, really good. This is a really good movie. I really like it. Like, it's got everything I like about movies. It's got, you know, it's got humor. It's got likable characters, a great story. I really like this movie a lot. I really like it. If you guys don't know what the whole story of this movie is about, basically the whole story of this movie is, our blue head friend, Megamind, who is, he's a blue creature, kind of like, the Smurfs and all that, so he's basically blue and all that. You gotta love those blue characters and all that. Basically, though, the thing is with Megamind is it's basically he became a villain and all that because he didn't have a great childhood and all that. Basically, what happened was his planet got sucked up by a black hole, and his parents basically had to save him. Apparently, also Metro Man was also saved too. So there was like 2 planets that were getting destroyed by a black hole. And actually, if you watch the movie and you see the scene, there's actually 3 planets, which is kind of interesting. We never really see the 3rd planet, but there's actually a 3rd planet. So I'm not really sure what the 3rd planet is and all that, but I do find that kind of interesting and all that. I find it interesting how there's just a randomly black hole and all that. Like, I would figure, like, with them having spaceships and all that, they'd be able to fly away from the black hole and all that, but I guess they couldn't. Because it looks like they were all panicking and all that as they were trying to leave and all that, So it looks like maybe some of them his species did survive, maybe, I don't know. But basically what happened was his parents saved him. So I'm guessing maybe they might have been the rulers, maybe they might have been the rulers of the planet. They led the planet and all that, and then basically the black hole ended up sucking them up and all that, so that's actually kind of sad if you think about it. So basically, he lost his parents and all. He never really got to know his parents, because he was too young. Although he does bring up a scene where he brings up a scene apparently where he was talking about how he's apparently, I think what was it, 6 days old and he's still living with his parents and how embarrassing that is. That's kind of interesting. I mean, 6 days old and still living with your parents, I'm guessing they must evolve pretty fast in the mind, but I don't know. I mean, he does function pretty well, because, he helps break out these prisoners and all that, on Earth, because he ends up landing in a prison while Metro Man lands in a nice home. So I can kind of see, where the whole, villain arc with him, and all that comes in, Even in school, he was picked on and all that. Like, he was picked on and, because he was different, and all that. So he was, basically, some people do kind of struggle with that. They have a hard time fitting in. And not always they'll get picked on, but a lot of times, back in the days, they did get picked on because they were different, But just because they look different doesn't mean they can't be cool. And that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to be cool and trying to fit in, but he never could. But he ends up, because he can't do anything right and he's always, being bad, he wanted to find his purpose. His purpose was to become a villain, and because bad was all he knew, and he spent the whole movie kind of doing that. And I really like, too, how we get to hear a lot of Ozzy Osbourne songs in this movie, too. They're pretty funny. If you don't know who Ozzy Osbourne is, he's actually a pretty old singer. He's probably in his 70s, maybe 80s now. I don't know. He's pretty old, but he was a famous singer. He also liked to, bite heads off of bats and all that, like crazy stuff like that. Apparently, they're not real bats, so there's not really much to worry about there. But, except for one time, I think he did actually bite a head off of a real bat one time I've heard about, but most of them have been fake. But that's just kind of crazy how that is and all that, and, but yeah, it's crazy. I do think that's a whole crazy thing, but there's a lot of those songs in there. One of them I like is the "We're Going to Hell" song, or something, whatever it's called, or "On the Way to Hell." I like how they censor it. They censor the word hell. Basically, the way they censor it's pretty funny. They have, Minion trying to, change the stereo and all that, and it messes up, and it's pretty funny, and sometimes it'll just play part of the song and not all of it. So clearly, the people behind this movie really liked they really liked Ozzy Osbourne, which is pretty. It's not bad. It kind of reminds me of Little Nicky too. Little Nicky, it was an Adam Sandler movie. That character, he was actually bad. Like he wasn't bad. He was actually a good guy and had a hard time doing bad things. Not like evil things, but mostly to save his dad from dying and all that jazz. This movie actually, has Ozzy Osbourne stuff too, but it actually has an actual villain who becomes good. And all that. And I think they do a really good job here. I really like it. I like it a lot, I think it's really, interesting. It makes an interesting movie, But, I will say, another thing I like too is how, the whole thing with him and how he becomes good is, he actually finally, exceeds at killing Metro Man. But they literally, they literally kill him, right off the bat. They literally kill Metro Man right off the bat. They don't even, rush it. They just kill him. They kill him and all that and go on with the story. I figured they would, watching the movie, I figured they would go on for a little bit longer. But no, they actually kill him off. And, they kill off Metro Man and basically have him... But they kill him off, and then they actually have him have to learn to they have him to learn that basically that it wasn't all worth it at the end because he did kill off Metro Man, but now he doesn't have a purpose in life, and that's the problem. It's he apparently him killing him off was not worth it. It's. Because he wanted to do that, because without Metro Man, there was not really any need for him to be. There wasn't any need for him to be a villain, So yeah, it's pretty sad and all that, and but it's pretty sad seeing him have to deal with that, but. That's kind of how, that's kind of, how it was, basically, he, like I said, because he spent his whole life, growing up, and being a villain and all that, and he just feel like it gave him attention and all that, but he realized, it wasn't fun afterwards, because, he liked having attention, and, but once Metro Man dies, he tries to create a new superhero, and he creates someone named Titan, and all that. I don't remember the voice actor of him. He voices I don't know. I think I've heard his voice. I don't know who he voices. But I've heard his voice before. He's a popular voice actor. So is the voice actor of Metro Man. Megamind. I don't know who voices Metro Man or the lady. I forgot her name. Shoot, Roxanne is her name. But Metro Man. Megamind was voiced by Will. I think his name's Will Howard or something. I think it's his name. He also played, Elf. The live action movie Elf. He played. That character. So, hearing him, play the voice here is pretty cool, too. Now, I don't know as much, projects that he's in as, compared to the other voice actors I've heard in the past. I know Minion. Minion is the voice actor, he actually is, he voices, I'm trying to remember who it was, Crane. He voices Crane in Kung Fu Panda, and he also is he's the villain on the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies. Ian, I know a lot of people don't like it, but you probably would know who he is because he plays in the 3 out of the 4 movies. I can't say how well they hold up because I have not watched the movies in a while, but I remember not caring for them much as I got older. But I don't know. But yeah, this movie though is this movie's got some voice actors in it and all that, which are pretty cool and all that. But I do like too how I like how Minion actually was right, because Minion was trying to warn Megamind. He was trying to warn him about training Titan, because he ends up becoming an actual villain because apparently all he cared about is having a girl, So kind of like Megamind. Megamind only really, like one reason of being a villain too. But his reason was he was tired of being bullied. He wanted people to have his attention and all that. Well, all the other guy cares about is I forgot his name. I'm just gonna call him Titan. But all he cares about is wanting to get with Roxanne and gets kind of creepy with it. But it ends up not happening. It ends up kind of just being. It ends up, not being the case because he ends up becoming a huge threat. And all that. And I like too how so apparently how Metro Man died was apparently Megamind had him trapped in a fake observatory dome. Well, actually, no, wait. They were in the fake. They were in the fake one. The real one was the real one was one was basically it was basically where he went and he got blown up because he couldn't escape the kryptonite or copper, or it was copper is what it was. Because he's basically supposed to be a Superman knockoff. Is what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a Superman knockoff. But it reveals later that apparently, which I kind of like this detail, is that Titan, because he has his powers too, but he got weakened. He was supposed to be weakened, but apparently he's not. So that revealed that he actually didn't die from that. So revealing he could have still been alive. And it turns out he was alive. He just he faked his death so he could retire and go with his dreams. He was tired of basically, being the hero and fighting Megamind all the time. He wanted to do his own thing. And I will say honestly that this might sound crazy, but I can kind of sympathize with him and the heroes. Mainly Roxanne, since she's the one who pointed it out. Because on one hand, yes, I mean, deserting your city and letting Megamind take over. That was probably not the best idea because, he was the villain, And not everybody kind of knew about that. But on the other hand, I can kind of see, him having to constantly rescue and do the same thing over and over again. That could probably get old. But, that's the thing, though. And I do like that a lot. And I also haven't talked about how Megamind and Roxanne kind of had a thing for each other. I'm not sure if they still did at the end of the movie. But I do know that he kind of liked her and fell in love with her. At the beginning of the movie, she was more like Princess Peach, from like Mario, where he just kidnaps her to lure the main hero and all that, and basically just for fun. But then he eventually, becomes a hero and all that, and it's just kind of crazy and. I just like that. I like that a lot, and it's kind of I like this movie a lot. There's just so much I like about it, and it's just really funny. And I also like Titan's description of there's no Easter Bunny, there's no what was it, Santa Claus, there's no Queen of England and all that, which honestly that's true because then the Queen of England died and all that, but Well, at that time it wasn't, but I felt like that was kind of a little bit random though. But I guess they probably threw in that joke just to like. They threw in that joke just to kind of throw kids off of it, but that's still a little bit kind of strange for him to say all that, because I'm like, you want to tell kids that there's no Easter Bunny or or Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy or whatever he was talking about. I mean, that was kind of just random, but I mean, kids are probably not going to believe that, because I mean, they did say the England thing too, so at least they're not going to probably get the idea that that stuff's not real, and all that, so they can still have fun. Like, but I do kind of wish Santa Claus and all that was real. I really do. Like I would, because in the movies and all that, he's known for having powers where he can make anything and all that, and sadly he doesn't exist. It's kind of just a fantasy thing. Well, actually, he did exist at one point in time, but then he basically was a real person in the 1800s and all that, and he ended up, because he delivered toys to poor people and all that, and that's kind of how that whole thing started. But it's just kind of, a shame he never actually had magical powers and all that. But yeah, but I don't know. But it's still kind of nice to see all of this and what on TV. It's pretty funny. And I'm gonna say though that what was I gonna say? Actually, I don't know what else. And I think it was pretty much about it. Because I feel like I'm getting kind of repeating myself at this point. But that's the thing. There's a lot going on in this movie, and like I said, it's really good. I would definitely recommend anybody watching it. You guys are gonna love this movie. You're gonna love it. It's really good. Like, it is actually really, really good, and I think a lot of people are gonna like it. Now I don't know if I will say if this is my favorite DreamWorks movie or not, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. I swear this literally keeps happening. Like, I literally keep doing reviews, especially with Sony Pictures and, with DreamWorks. Tim's, I keep, like, doing the reviews, and I keep finding similar, like, stuff to, like, each one of them. It's crazy. Like I review them, like, literally the same time, like, back to back, and I keep finding some stuff and all that. But I guess technically there was a Sony Pictures movie I did miss and all that, so I guess technically this wouldn't be back to back with the other movie, which is also known for being, Sony's best movies, which is the Spider-Man movie, Into the Spider-Verse. But it's still pretty interesting to see that. But yeah, I don't know, But this movie definitely is well known. I don't know if like what people's favorite. I mean, a lot of people say they really liked Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and all that, which was a sequel to a movie I'll be talking about here in the future as well. I think it might be next. I don't remember. No, actually, I think it's Kung Fu Panda 2 that's next. Yes, it's next. And then I think it might be that. I have to rewatch that stuff to figure that out, but. Because I have, like, a list I follow on then with DreamWorks. Because it's honestly a lot more better to, like, follow that than looking this stuff up and all that. Because it's kind of crazy sometimes looking things up. I tried to do this with Sony Pictures animation movies, but they, like, got all over the place. And it was freaking frustrating to deal with, but I'm going to probably explain that at the end of all that, because I usually do explain these experiences and all at the end of my journey, but anywho, before we let things go from here, I do want to go ahead and give you guys the comment question. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a comment question, because we have a comment question time. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Yep, comment question time. My comment question for you guys is, I had a little tough time figuring out which one to do here. Because I didn't want to do another villain, because I've already talked about my favorite villains. And there really isn't a lot of villains in this movie. There's only like 2, I think. Well, I guess there's Minion too, but Minion's kind of more of a supportive guy. But I wanted to kind of do something a little bit different there. And I didn't want to say favorite DreamWorks movie, because I have a feeling a lot of people would probably say that. So I wanted to give you guys a different comment question. So, like, I'm going to say this, there's a lot of movies out there that actually, you know, like, there's a lot of movies out there that actually have, this kind of concept where the villain, you know, starts out as a villain in the movie and becomes a good guy. There's a lot of concepts like that. And all that, but just in case, you know, because there's probably a bunch of them out there. Between Wreck-It Ralph, you know, and, I mean, you guys can pick other options too, but if you guys don't want to pick a lot of options too, I'll give you guys this. Between Wreck-It Ralph, you know, which came out like 2 years after this movie, Despicable Me 1, and this movie, which one's your favorite? I haven't watched Wreck-It Ralph, you know, in a long time. I have not watched it in like years. But I do know it's I do know that it actually had, like, I remember it being really good too. But I don't know, I think I remember liking this movie a lot more. Despicable Me 1, like I've said at the beginning of the video, I think it was alright. Like, I don't think it wasn't a great movie. I thought like it was slow at times and all that. But I don't think it was funny too, but it was also very slow. I mean, again, it was trying to tell a story and all that, but I felt like it was a little bit slow at times, but for the most part, it was still a really good movie too. But this one, I think, is definitely probably my favorite of the 3. But, anywho, I think I'm going to go ahead and end up letting things go from here. If you guys don't mind. And I'll see you guys all later. This will probably be uploaded around, like, after midnight. So unfortunately, it will not be uploaded on the same week, because I usually try to upload these on the same week. But that is because, you know, would have to rewatch the video and all that again. But you know, it's going to be basically September in an hour or so. But I will go ahead and let things go from here, though, and it'll still get uploaded. It'll just be a little strange, but anywho, see you guys later. Bye bye.